I told y'all! I told you! Oh my God! This is just the tip of the iceberg! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
After seeing sparring footage that appears to show Alexander Usyk getting dropped, Tyson Fury responded by saying Usyk doesn't look as strong as he once did. He suggested that if the situation starts to feel difficult, Usyk could choose to step away. And he pointed to Rico Verhoeven as a different kind of problem altogether, bigger, heavier, and, in Fury's view, a much more physically demanding challenge.
Look at him, his heart's pounding now. He's like a little pussy with an earring in. Shit house. His bollocks have shriveled up now, they have. Little sausage.
I don't more
with an earring
speak.
in, you fucking pussy.
Derek Chisora treats sparring knockdowns with an almost casual calm, saying it's part of the gym, part of learning, part of improvement. In his view, it isn't something to panic over. It's just experience. But with the noise now surrounding Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury's reaction feeding into it, that moment has started to carry more weight than it ever should have, turning routine training talk into something louder and harder to ignore.
Alexander Usyk gets dropped in sparring, but he's learning on the job. You'd rather do your mistakes in the gym than do them when you're fighting.
Lawrence Oakley downplays the sparring knockdown, saying it shouldn't alter how people measure Alexander Usyk as a fighter. He argues that getting dropped in training happens, and that it doesn't define a man's real ability. But with Tyson Fury already raising doubts about Usyk's condition, the footage has become another point of debate, feeding the question of whether Usyk is still as sharp and dominant as he's been, heading toward the Rico Verhoeven clash.
That's what I think of the fight. Getting dropped once again, it's not the end of the world. People get dropped in fights, so win them. Getting dropped in sparring is what it is. You know what I mean? You just gotta be able to dust off and kind of.
Alexander Usyk stays in his familiar calm, saying there's no pressure going into this fight. He speaks about it as if it's simply the next contest, and insists his preparation is exactly where it needs to be. But after Tyson Fury's comments about the sparring footage, the silence around Usyk's words has changed, leaving people to wonder if he's underestimating what awaits against someone bigger and stronger like Rico Verhoeven.
No, it's not pressure for me. Listen, it's just fight. It's a boxing fight. It's a normal. I prepare for this fight. Everything okay.
Rico Verhoeven describes his style as controlled but heavy, stressing that when a clean shot lands, it carries real weight. He speaks with calm confidence about adapting, about learning to apply his physical strength in a different language, with his hands. And that, more than the talk around it, is why Fury keeps circling back to him as a problem. If this fight turns physical, Rico's size and power could force Usyk into moments he can't simply outthink.
I'm always like very calculated, but yeah, when I connect, I connect. Like I said, there's a lot of weight behind these punches. So yeah, of course, within the kickboxing sport, I was used to just throwing the kicks and doing my thing, but now we get the opportunity to use the hands more. So Peter is like, oh, he's like crazy excited.
Fabio Wardley questions the level of opposition, suggesting that stepping away from top boxing competition leaves a lingering uncertainty about readiness. In the context of Alexander Usyk versus Rico Verhoeven, his comments come from a place that values elite preparation and serious, familiar tests. And that framing adds pressure on Usyk, because critics want to see him measured against top-tier boxing threats, not against the unknowns that come with crossover styles.
Understand that he's kind of earned the right to do what you want, but I at least expected it to be some sort of active boxer, someone of some... Not to say I don't actually know much about Van Hooven in terms of a kickboxer, of what his quality level is, but what I'm saying is I expected it to be someone of a decent caliber of a professional boxer. But if it's not, then fine. Look, do your thing, do you, and hopefully he returns to actual professional boxing against some of the top elite.
Johnny Nelson points to Alexander Usyk's dominance, but also to the reality that now follows it. Decisions are shaped by both competition and business. He suggests that truly big fights and the financial windows around them don't stay open forever, which is why unusual matchups like this start to matter. That's also why Tyson Fury's reaction carries weight. In a moment like this, Even the suggestion of vulnerability changes the air, adding intrigue and pressure to a fight that's already pulling massive attention.
Alexander, what he's done, he's wiped the floor with everybody. He's established himself at the top there. So now you look at him and you'll think financially, will he be in a better position than Tyson Fury? No, not in my opinion. Anthony Joshua? No, not in my opinion. The big money fights aren't out there for him. So he's got to do something. He's got to put himself in a position where he's got to win, because he's proved he's top draw. So in this fight here, I think it creates interest, intrigue. I'm quite sure there's a healthy pay packet at the end of it. This is now business for him.
Eddie Hearn has voiced concern about a fighter's condition and conduct, even while acknowledging how dangerous that person can still be once the bell rings. His point is that performance isn't just skill, it's the body and the mind working together or not. In the case of Alexander Usyk, it adds a quieter tension to the conversation. Even at the highest level, readiness can be questioned when preparation becomes a topic, and sparring clips begin to plant doubt in the public eye.
But he's going to be dangerous. Like, all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain, you know? I've got to be honest with you, like, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it.
Peter Fury says both Alexander Usyk and Rico Verhoeven are willing to take the fight, calling them real fighting men. And that willingness makes it feel like more than talk. But with Tyson Fury already casting doubt after the sparring footage, the tension sharpens. Intent isn't the same as readiness. Now it comes down to whether both men are truly prepared for a contest that could turn physical and unforgiving.
Rico wanted the fight, Usyk wanted it. They said both ultimate fighting men, aren't they? So fights like this are not going to be hard to make.
Paul Smith questions whether Rico Verhoeven has done enough, in boxing terms, to warrant a shot at Alexander Usyk, especially with other fighters still waiting, year after year, for the chance they feel they've earned. At the same time, he acknowledges what Usyk has already done, and the reality that achievements like his can buy a fighter the freedom to choose different kinds of challenges. But that choice doesn't happen in silence. And with Tyson Fury already casting doubt on Usyk's condition off the back of sparring footage talk, the decision starts to feel heavier. Less about opportunity, more about what Usyk is willing to risk being questioned for.
Kickboxer for a long time and not really done much in boxing at all to warrant a shot at Alexander Usyk when there's a queue so big. And indeed. You know what I mean? And that's the most important thing. The people who are sitting waiting for their shot in line are going to be fuming over this. Some would say, to counter their argument, Usyk's probably earned the right to have an easier one after what.
That's it for today. Stay tuned. See you next time.